Charlie said first, don't know who Sumaya is. Sorry.
Oh,
Samara. You have to introduce yourself, Samara. Can I start?
yeah, you should, I think.
Okay, fine. Hey guys, I'm Hameed and been doing the Run of Spirit podcast for a while now. And now we're going live because I just want to connect with other people, anyone that's been watching the podcast and keeping up to date with the conversations I've been having with our guests. And Dr. Samara Farha is my friend. She's also my clarity coach. And Samara, please introduce yourself.
I'm a clinical psychologist. I have a specialist interest in culture, acculturation, trauma, identity, everything in relation to that.
Charlie says, your name is Hameed. What does Ranu mean? Yes, my name is Hameed, Charlie. It's a pleasure to meet you. Ranu is Yoruba for think. So Ranu spirit means the thinking spirit. That's what it means. Thank you for asking. Appreciate it. All right. What is the point of us going on live today? Firstly, I want to connect with those who have been watching the series that we've been putting out. And then secondly, I just want to recap on the 3 episodes that we've put out so far. Not 3, 4. The 4 episodes that we've put out so far. And just recap everything I've learned and see if anybody have any questions. I know there were a few clips that we put out that was controversial. I wanted to explore that as well. That was the main reason why I'm trying to do this live. Right, Samara?
Yeah.
Is there anything else I missed out on we wanted to achieve with this, why we're doing this live?
No, I think the entire podcast is a learning process.
That's a very good question. What are we learning about?
You're asking me?
Fair enough. Yes, it's a learning process. You're right. The entire podcast is a learning process. And what I'm trying to learn about is basically the best way to empower Africans in general and help to increase the global respect for Black and African people globally. I'm trying to figure out the best ways to do that and just having interesting conversations with people on how to do that. Continue, Samara.
I was just saying it's a collaborative learning space. And I guess what's different about this is that there's a bit of a debrief every 3 or 4 episodes so that we can encourage for more engagement and more conversations, meaningful conversations around the Ronu Spirit podcast. Although, Hameed, you're at the forefront of this and I'm kind of like a sounding board clarity coach. We also want to get other people involved, right? Because the whole idea is if we're wanting to empower people, then people need to be involved.
Definitely. We do want to get other people involved, which is why I'm so happy that Charlie's here to join us. He actually is asking another question. It says, I have a question about what a healthy relationship between Africa and Caribbean would look like to you guys, because Dangote and Wodemaya went to Grenada recently. Seems interesting. Oh, yes. I actually watched a Wodemaya video recently, the one about South Africa. And I want to discuss that one actually, Samira. I want to discuss the South African one with you. And I know Dangote is out here building an oil refinery, but I did not know that he actually went to the Caribbean. He went to Grenada recently. Interesting. The question is, what does a healthy relationship look like between Africa and the Caribbean? Any thoughts on that whilst I think? Do you have any thoughts on that, Samira?
No, I was just thinking that the whole idea about this podcast is to explore lots of different things. And I guess this is one of the things that I feel we should be able to explore. Whether we can answer that question today or whether it's something that's part of our Ronu Spirit podcast journey, you know, because we're both learning. And I don't know if I know enough to be able to say what a healthy relationship between Africa and the Caribbean would look like.
I was actually wondering if there's a way for me to invite people onto this live so they can ask properly, like actually be a part of the conversation if they wanted to be a part of the conversation. Yeah, what do you think about that?
I think if you were to do like a TikTok live, I know people are able to join parts of those conversations, but not through this platform.
I'm sure there's a way. I just need to figure it out. But yeah, a healthy relationship between Africa and the Caribbean. The relationship currently is not healthy. Is it not healthy, Charlie? Is that what you're saying? Do you think it's not healthy? And what do I think? Do I think it's healthy, the relationship right now? I don't know. I think it depends, you know. I feel like there are some Caribbeans that I meet and they really are with Africa. They love it and they're with it. I don't think I've met any that actually are trying to deny Africa right now. It just depends on the people you hang out with. But I feel like Caribbeans do understand that Africa is where they originally came from. And some are even interested in migrating back to Africa and living there. It would be nice if there was a way for the Caribbean islands to also be wealthy and be in charge of their own wealth, their own resources, everything basically. Right? That's what I'm thinking. But I don't know if the relationship is unhealthy. Charlie says, or the Grenadian PM went to Nigeria and visited Dangote, or one of them. Oh, I'm just interested in seeing what the future has for both regions, to be honest. In my opinion, I would say that the thing that both regions have in common is the fact that they are still more or less, well, how do I put this in a delicate manner? This is why you're here, Samara, so I don't say something offensive. But both regions are still more or less subordinate to the Western world with regards to economic reliance. They don't have economic independence and they're not self-sufficient. That's the main thing we need to fix, right? We need to fix that, because if we can do that, then we start having our own voice and we start being able to do what we want to do. But in order to fix that, we need to come together. And I don't know what the history is like in the Caribbean. I'm ashamed to say that I don't know as much. But I know that in Africa, whenever there was a leader that would try to come together and bring the people together, that leader would get taken out by the Western world, by the CIA, by, Belgium, France. Ibrahim Traore right now, he's only alive because of Russia. Do you know about Ibrahim Traore, Samara?
I don't think so.
Ibrahim! You don't know about Ibrahim? Wow. Okay. So, Ibrahim Traore, he is the president of Guinea-Bissau. Yeah. He's in his 30s. And I think I read somewhere or saw it on TikTok that he's survived like 18 assassination attempts recently. He's a military guy, recently became the president of Guinea-Bissau. And he's been making all kinds of changes to Guinea-Bissau that the French are not so happy with. And he walks around with a gun on his hip. He survived so many assassination attempts. And I think the only reason he's actually still alive is because he's on friendly terms with the Russians. I personally feel like the Russians are the only ones keeping him alive. He's making a lot of changes. They're starting their first gold refinery in Guinea-Bissau, whereas before they used to have other people do that. They're not doing it themselves. What else has he done? Man, now I have to pull it all up. You know what? We're on the internet. Why not pull it up? In the meantime, can you see what Charlie's saying?
Just said, I'm just interested in seeing what the future has for both regions, to be honest.
What else?
And then, is that AU plus CARICOM? And then Ibrahim Traore, the coup master?
The coup master.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Coup.
Yeah, but that's a French word, isn't it? Coup d'etat.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. I'm searching here trying to see all the different changes that Ibrahim has done, because I come across them on TikTok all the time. It's like, oh, we're getting rid of this and we're now going to start wearing our own native clothing in schools. We are doing all kinds of different things, basically. What else did he say? There was a gold thing. There was a language thing. He's trying to change the language from French to something else, but obviously he still speaks in French because they were a French colony. Yeah, I'm reading it online right now. Should I share what I'm reading? Yeah, why not? Let's do that. So here, look, Samara, here it is. This is Ibrahim Burkina Faso's. Oh, it's Burkina Faso. I was thinking Guinea-Bissau this whole time. Thank God we checked it out.
I was going to say, it's good that you looked it up, isn't it?
Yeah. I was just going through this trying to read all the different things he's been changing lately. I don't know why I said Guinea-Bissau. I feel so bad. But yeah, I'm looking through here and this is the part where he was talking about the Russians. External players. Coup d'etat got the attention of the Russian foreign blah, blah, blah. Campaigns were linked to the shadowy Russian mercenary. These account for most diverse events. Where is this from? Like, what link is this?
You clicked on it, so.
Yeah. So, yeah, anyways, it's saying this accounts for more blah, blah, blah. Aiming to boost support for himself immediately following the coup, Traore trained the sites on capturing the anti-French sentiments. He blamed the French for many. Interesting. So, I'm guessing this particular site is not happy with it and thinks is basically painting Ibrahim as a coup master, just like Charlie said. Russian mercenaries have been providing protection for Traore and reportedly supporting operations near the border with Mali. However, only some 100 to 300 Russian forces have gone to Burkina Faso. This suggests that the focus, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. So that's who he is. He's just a big deal on TikTok. And a lot of Africans and Black people are like, finally, we have a leader that's standing up to the West. Obviously, the West doesn't like that. And I'm guessing this website where I got it from, which when I share, I should probably just share the entire window, to be fair. So I'll just do that next time so we can see the link that I got it from and everything. Is thinking the same thing. Charlie says he has Sankara type energy, but I doubt him because military rule isn't good. Yes, I do agree with that actually, because I mean, so far, it looks like he's doing good things and is able to make all these changes. And everyone's like, how is he doing this? In my head, I was thinking, first of all, isn't he a military guy? How does he know how to put all the systems in place, right? We don't know what the future holds. But at the same time, I feel like Africa just needs, the African nations, we don't necessarily have to do things the same way the Western world have done it. I really hate when they try to go around promoting this whole democracy BS and then they use it as a excuse to change regime to something that benefits them. But like when I look at how the Chinese did it, they didn't necessarily do it using the same method that the Western world used. So I'm not necessarily against what Ibrahim is doing. In fact, right now it looks like it's doing good, but we can't say if it's always going to be good. We just have to wait and see right now. I literally don't have an answer. I literally don't have an answer. But go on, Samara. You had questions for me, didn't you?